And cue up Shabbat music. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and welcome to everybody who has joined us on our YouTube live station. And wonderful opportunity for us to come together once again and celebrate Shabbat and be together and share this wonderful evening. This evening we'll ask Lisa Tottelman, who's with us, to light our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. As these Shabbat candles give light to all that behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Lisa. And Lisa, before you go, could you give us, I know we had a wonderfully successful Erie Gives Day, and I don't know if you have any updates for us?
Well, if you don't know, our Erie Gives total was $16,172. I don't know yet how much of that is actual fundraising and how much will be dues, but regardless, I was flabbergasted and brought to tears by the turnout. Erie Gives Day is one of my favorite days anyway, and it was so much more intense with having, a charity or a cause that you're close to on the list. So I was watching it every 30 seconds at work, probably gonna get in trouble for that. But as soon as I know, what totals and stuff, we will publish it in a Tuesday Topics or a Temple Topics.
Great. And Lisa, thank you and Sharon and Mary for all of your hard work in making this all happen. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. And we'll continue with Maya Hayom. How beautiful, how wonderful it is on this day. Page 10.
Maya Hayom. Shabbat shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
And as we welcome Shabbat into our hearts and into our lives, we turn together to page 20 for Lecha Dodi. And as we welcome Shabbat in and we welcome each other to our service and into our lives, we turn to Shalom Aleichem on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichen Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn together to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadash Shmi Rabbah, Yamadi Barach Yirtei V'Yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon u'b'yamechon u'b'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, Bagala, u'b'zman karib, Yimaru Amen. Yeshmei Rabba Mevorach, Yolam Alame Omaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitbar, Yitromam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitale, Yitala, Shemei Kudesha, Barichu, Leila, Min Kol Berchata, V'Shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata damira me'alma imaru amen.
And Baruch Hu on page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed.
As Shabbat is a celebration of God's creation, we turn to Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30, which speaks to us of that very creation and the wonders and the mysteries contained in the stars in the sky and the cycles of the day that flows into night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvona meshana itim umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzivaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you have taught your people Israel, teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Ahavat olam met Yisrael. Amcha avta, Torah umitzvot, chukim umishpatim, otanu limadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shofenu, ufkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem chayeinu, ve'orech yameinu. Uvahem negeyom on the layla, ve'ahavat chal tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
As we turn to page 34, we see before us the words of the Shema, those words which call on us to struggle, to listen, to really be able to hear the messages that our tradition, that our history, that our liturgy is trying to give us. The message that God is unified and singular and one, and is present in our lives in so many ways. And so we join together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
On the following page, we join in Va'ahavta, talking of the role that we have to be mindful of God whenever, wherever, and whenever we are, whether we are rising up in the morning, lying down at night, going about our daily business, wherever it might be, we have God's presence with us to help us, to guide us.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'b'leftecha b'derech u'shachbecha u'kunecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'sharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu el kol amo Yisrael.
page 44. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. V'shamru
b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, so that our mouths can truly declare your praise.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chazrei Avot V'Imahot, U'Levei Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, B'chayei HaKol atah Rav L'Hoshia, Morid atah, Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed, B'chayei HaKol B'rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, Umekayem emunato mishenei afar michamocha b'gevurot umidom elach מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש קדושים בכל יום יהלוך סלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Page 53. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. O God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, in whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yira na'avod. Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life beyond wonder, beyond words, for the awareness of our soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. We take a moment. We leave aside the words of the prayer book, those familiar words, and we look inward. We look inward to the prayers that are in our own hearts, our own thoughts. So on this Shabbat, as we take these moments, we let go of the stresses that are ever present in our lives, the stresses of navigating this coronavirus and all of its restrictions and challenges. We let go of these stresses of figuring out how to work differently, how to play differently, how to connect with each other differently. So we take some moments for silent prayer.
Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adom lecho hashalom. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Metov Einecha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael Bechol Heit Uvachal Sham Mishlomecha. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
We take some time and call to mind all those members of our community, our friends, our family, all those in the world afflicted with pain and illness, especially during this pandemic. And while we have been at this almost 6 months, 6 months of people in terrible distress, 6 months of so many people in suffering for themselves, for their families. The challenges of all those medical professionals who care for our loved ones. And so if you would like to mention a name, please add it to our chat. And we mentioned Lisa Chinsky, Joan Harf, Frances Miller, Emily Bostwick, Nancy Comey Bell, Fran Porras, Kevin Hicks, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Eric Perry, and Judith Goldman. And tonight we'll share with you Heal Us Now from the Hazamir Choir.
Love
מי שברך תהילותינו, על אדוני הושיענה. We pray for healing of our people. We pray for healing of the land and peace for every race and nation, every child, every woman, every oh, please heal us now. Please heal us oh, please, oh, heal us now. Please heal Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now.
Shabbat Shalom. There's a wonderful section of this week's Torah portion from Re'eh that says, God's giving you blessings and curses. Now, all we need to do is look around to see that we understand what curses are like. We understand that there are lots of things in the world that aren't going the way we'd like them to go. But there are also so many blessings around us. And I think that the portion is trying to get us to think about, what are our blessings? What are the wonderful things in our lives? The things that we're able to do, the things that we're able to appreciate. And sometimes it's those curses that actually make the blessings all the more sweet. The blessings that we can truly appreciate. Because without the challenges in our lives, it's hard to appreciate the good stuff. The new experiences that we have, the relationships that we share with our family and our friends. And on this Shabbat especially, as we look at this text, which says, Re'eh, see, be aware and be conscious, be mindful of our lives. Be mindful of the good things in our lives, be mindful of our challenges. Figure out how to appreciate the balance between them. We know that life is never one way or the other. It's never totally perfect. It's never completely the way we'd want it to go. There are always hiccups and challenges and obstacles in our way sometimes. And yet, like our ancient ancestors did as they traveled from the sense of slavery to a sense of freedom, we work our way through these challenges. One of the challenges that we have is that we're now meeting, of course, we have been for many months, for services online. And so I'd like to ask a question. Since the beginning, we've been using either a prayer book you have at home or the flip book. And one of the questions I'd like to sort of throw out there, and you can please respond in the chat, is whether or not or how you use the prayer book. So in the chat, if you could just put in whether you use the online flip book, or you have your own prayer book, your physical prayer book, or whether you simply experience the service without the benefit of a printed text or a visual text. So if you could just give us a little indication on the chat line, that would be helpful. Part of this is understanding how we are leading services on Friday nights, and part of it is thinking about moving forward in terms of our holiday celebrations and holiday services and things like that, and what might be helpful. So if you can just put your responses here in our chat, and that'll give us a sense of what we're doing, and perhaps if we need to make some changes, we will. For those of you who like the printed text for High Holidays, hopefully you've received your High Holiday packet, you'll notice that for the High Holidays you'll be able to pick up a copy of the High Holiday prayer books, and part of that experience will be the opportunity to transform our spaces, to transform the space that we pray in from our living room or our study or office or wherever you might connect, into a place of prayer, into a sanctuary, into a space that we can experience our holiday services. And so part of the physicality of holding a prayer book sometimes helps us with that transition. So let us know what you currently do, and if people have a text that or they have a preference, let us know that too, and happy to see if we can make things more accessible for people as we progress. So as we look into our own lives, we look at the variety of the blessings and the challenges that we have in our lives, and we appreciate both, and we appreciate the challenges that we have to work towards and hopefully overcome, and also the wonderful blessings that we're able to experience. I want to wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. And so you can continue posting your responses there on the chat. We'll look at them later. And for now, we'll turn together to the Aleinu on page 282.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, ותהי תפילה ליוצא בראשית, שבו עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, ואלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחתינו. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
our thoughts turn now to those who have departed our earth. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up our darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. And as we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. We're in the period of Shloshim for Barbara Shapiro, Ruth Randall, Joan Stresser, and Marilyn Wyman. And we observe the yard sites on this Shabbat for Samuel Sobel, Louis Levi, Carolyn Keller, Luba Radov, Ida Cohn, Nate Mannheim, Rudolph Heller, Rose Perel, Margot Kalman Oppenheim, Marjorie Schnorman Weiss, Raymond Schuster, Jacob Markowitz, Isaac Livingston, Bessie Kleinert, Max Waxelbaum, Abe Weil, Etty Levy, George Brown, Julia Dreyfus, Blanche Baker, Fanny Rosenberg, Albert Lucas, Saul Kallman, and Lillian Bookman. And if others have names to add, please do add them in our chat. Say their names out loud. Say them in your hearts. As we turn to the ancient words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich marchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'galav izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'elam u'larmeh armaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who grants peace in the high and distant heights grant peace for us, for all Israel, for all the world, as together we say, amen. Our services this evening are dedicated to all of us joining us here tonight and in memory of all those that we have loved and who we have lost. Donations that were made to our flower fund for this Shabbat and all our Shabbat services will be used to offset the costs of digital communication during this challenging time. Tomorrow morning we have Torah study at 11 a.m. and hope you will consider joining us for what's always an interesting series of challenges and conversations. It's really quite fun. Immediately following our service, please join us for our Shabbat Oneg, and hope that you can join us for a little socializing, catch up, see how people are doing, ask any questions, and generally just spend a few moments together in casual just socializing. You should have received your High Holiday packet. They were mailed out this week, and we hope that you have, and in fact many people are starting to respond. And so we encourage you to please return the various different postcards and things for the High Holiday greetings, our roll of remembrance, our honor, the flowers, or our High Holiday communications. And we'll be sending out our High Holiday newsletter soon so that you have all the information needed to fully participate in our High Holiday services this year. And with that, we'll conclude with Oseh Shalom, the very last words of the Kaddish prayer, thanking God for the peace that we have.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you all soon. Join us for our Oneg. Oneg link is right here in the chat, and we'll see you there. Shabbat Shalom.